I would like to use that opportunity to first of all thank my colleagues from DG Batch for organizing this conference, and does it work? Yes. And my thanks go in particular to Lourdes and Alina. And of course their excellent teams for putting together an impressive program and even more impressive lineup. And it's not over. It was already announced. Tomorrow we are going to have also the President of the European Council here. By way of conclusion of the day, let me highlight just a few points that were raised today. The President's keynote speech set out a very clear direction for a modernized and reinforced budget, an EU budget that can, as she put it, keep pace with a changing world. And that's what we should keep on mind in our further works. What struck me was a lot of convergence between the speech of the President and also the conclusions of the Citizens Panel. I was present actually during the deliberations of the Citizens Panel on Sunday that took place in the very same room. And in a sense it is very reassuring. Another message that came out clearly was the need for more flexibility. I think this is one of the least controversial principles. Of course, the devil is always in the details, but this is something that was very much echoed in the contributions of almost during all the panels. As Mrs. Kairisto from Finland, one of the rapporteurs of the Citizens Panel, put it, you cannot anticipate everything, but you can be better prepared. And that is something that we should bear on mind. Simplicity, another principle that is rather applauded and appreciated by everyone. Yes, as this was mentioned already, we have 52 spending programs in the current MFF with different rules, different requirements, and one of the ways to increase simplicity is to reduce the number. That by itself will also increase the flexibility of the EU budget. But simplicity has also the dimension of accessing EU funds. Clearly, accessing EU funds should not require an army of consultants and a paper wall of documents, which is too often the case today. But we certainly should not forget about a dimension of transparency and accountability that will be reminded, I'm pretty sure about it tomorrow, by our colleagues from the European Court of Auditors, Cont Committee in the European Parliament, and also from EPO. The limited size of the EU budget would also require us to spend every euro to make sure that every euro produces the maximum bang for our buck, and that was the topic of today's discussion during the morning panel. A smarter use of the EU budget through leveraging public money and also mobilize private funding. And then you know that in the last few months there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of concerns about the impact of the new structure of the EU budget in particular on the cohesion policy and on the common agriculture policy. I think that the messages sent today by President of the Commission were crystal clear. There will be a central place for the CEP and cohesion policy in the next budget, but those policies also need to be modernized. On the CEP, I also want to excuse myself. I was not present during the whole conference. I spent some of today with the farmers, which came to Brussels, attracted also by the fact that we have today conference on the EU budget. And I'm pretty sure that we will manage to find a way also to find a way in which the structure of the EU budget will meet the expectations of our farming community. The President of the Commission was also very clear on our local authorities. Our approach will be structured around national and regional partnerships, which means that we foresee the role for the regions, both in design and in the implementation of our policies. So, if I have to summarize today's debate on the EU budget in 4 words, I would take inspiration from the title of the famous Daft Punk song. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Harder, an EU budget that pushes harder in the areas that matter most, like growth and competitiveness. Better, a budget that delivers better results for our citizens. Faster, a budget that can react faster to unexpected events. And finally, stronger, a budget that makes Europe stronger, both inside but also in the outside world. Thank you.